In this video, I'm going to show you how well organized Manchester United are under Erik Ten Hag. And to do that, I'm going to show you two pieces of footage that I'm going to analyze here on the channel. One being one of Liverpool goals in their 5-0 win against Manchester United at Old Trafford last season. And one being a defensive sequence from Manchester United against Liverpool during our 4-0 win in preseason. Now, before I get moving to that, I just want to show you the following footage. It's Jurgen Klopp talking about Ralf Rangnick when he signed for Manchester United.
United will be organized. I think on the pitch, I think we should realize that, and that's obviously not good news for other teams. But
as you can see, Manchester United are going to be organized on the pitch. This clearly shows that in Jurgen Klopp's eyes and in the eyes of many managers in the Premier League, Manchester United were not an organized side. We were a shambolic team. And so these videos are definitely going to show us how Erik Ten Hag is actually turning Manchester United into an organized unit. Now, the first footage, obviously, is going to be the Liverpool goal. So if you are a Manchester United fan, I know that most of you are, so am I. It's definitely disturbing footage. Okay, so see you in a bit. Okay, so let's start with the first sequence, the Liverpool goal. So obviously this sequence starts with Robertson, who has the ball. I chose this sequence because in the preseason sequence that I'm going to show you, it also involved Tsimikas, the left back, a lot. So here the first thing we can see is that Greenwood and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are not efficient with the press, especially Aaron Wan-Bissaka for a right back who is renowned for his defensive prowess. He's just not decisive enough. How can Robertson make this pass? But that's not the worst thing yet, okay? So as the ball goes to Jota, now Victor Lindelof is coming in, of course not decisive either. But the main problem I have with this sequence here is that usually when a right back goes up to put pressure on a player upfield, usually it's the defensive midfielder, in this case, the right-sided defensive midfielder, Scott McTominay, who's supposed to cover for him, while Lindelof has to stay high up the pitch, as close to Harry Maguire as possible. So here, clearly, the players not knowing what their roles are. So obviously, Lindelof, not decisive enough, not aggressive enough to get the ball from Jota, who of course passes the ball to Roberto Firmino. Now, the other thing I want you to pay attention to is just the alignment and positioning of our midfielders. All of them are aligned. They are a straight up line. And then all of the Liverpool forwards and attacking midfielders are ahead of us. This should not happen. The only possible solution, the only possible situation in which this should happen is if this was a counter-attack. Let's say we had a set piece and then Liverpool were counter-attacking us. Okay, but not in a simple build-up from the back like this. So obviously Lindelof here, not only does he not get the ball, but also he affords Firmino all kind of space. Firmino turns around and who's in front of him? Well, of course, His Majesty, the King, Harry Maguire. Now he slips the ball to Salah, and then, of course, it's Salah and Naby Keita against Luke Shaw. So, of course, he doesn't have anything. There's nothing he can do about it. Neither can De Gea stop this, and then it's a goal. So, obviously, as you can see, this sequence clearly shows many things. First of all, our positional play is simply not there. Second of all, we are not decisive or aggressive in the tackle, and of course the players are not communicating with each other because they do not know what's expected of them. Now let's look at the footage from preseason and see how Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United is different from Ole Gunnar or Ralf Rangnick's Manchester United. Please also bear in mind that a lot of the players who were involved in this Liverpool goal were actually involved in Manchester United's defensive sequence against Liverpool in preseason. So this again shows that it's not really the players, that we do have quality player, it's just a matter of coaching. Okay, so let's look at that footage and let's analyze it. Okay, so now let's have a look at the second sequence, the preseason sequence. Okay, so again, it's gonna be a Liverpool build-up from the back. So let's see how different it's gonna be. Now, okay, now first I want you to notice how compact Manchester United are. Very compact, very narrow, but also playing high. Look at our defensive line. We are literally standing in the halfway line, squeezing Liverpool in their own space. That's proactive defending. Now let's see what kind of interesting things transpire from this footage. Okay. So obviously Fred is going with his runner in midfield. Now look at Scott McTominay. Actually look at Scott McTominay and Victor Lindelof. So Scott over here, Victor Lindelof over here. Look at what they are doing. So both of them are indicating to Luke Shaw that he's the one who needs to mark James Milner over there on the right-hand side. Now, this is such an underrated move. And again, this shows just the intelligence of players like Lindelof and Scott McTominay, both of whom are highly professional players. And you can be certain that both of them are A students. They are taking notes and absorbing whatever it is that Erik Ten Hag wants the team to do. And they are constantly reminding their teammates to do it. So here they are telling Luke Shaw to go and mark James Milner instead of Scott McTominay going. This is very important. Why? Let's keep watching. Now, look at Scott McTominay, what he's doing. He's actually talking to Bruno Fernandes, who is down there. So he's looking at him, he's talking to him. Bruno Fernandes is probably not listening, or maybe, he's just ignoring him. I don't know what's happening over there. But then here, Scott McTominay is going to have his Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself kind of moment, because look what he does. So here Liverpool, as Joel Matip gives the ball back to Alisson, it is clear what they want to do. Basically Matip giving the ball to Alisson, and then Alisson giving the ball through the middle to Curtis Jones, who is in the number 6 position. Because once he has the ball there, he can just turn and then he can run at us, and then the Liverpool forwards can start making smart moves, and then they can actually get the ball out and maybe even create a chance. But Scott McTominay has already seen that. He has anticipated. So Alisson gets the ball. Look at him. He wants to give it to Curtis Jones, and then changes his mind. Goes to Reece Williams, the other centre back. So again, Scott McTominay, by communicating to Luke Shaw that he needs to actually mark James Milner so that Scott McTominay can be free to go and push forward and mark the Liverpool number 6, has literally blocked Liverpool. We have taken their best opening, their best chance so far, and we have taken it away from them. So now Reece Williams has the ball. Sancho goes on the press. Alisson gets the ball. Now, as you can see, who can Alisson pass the ball to? No one except Tsimikas, the left back. Now, I want you to pay attention to Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot down on our right-hand side. Pay attention to what they are doing. So Alisson, of course, goes with Tsimikas. And look at Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes is signaling to Diogo Dalot that he needs to mark the Liverpool player. Why? This leaves Bruno Fernandes free to go and pressurize Milner. Why? Because you don't want Milner, an experienced player, a very good player, to have time on the ball, because that would give Liverpool options. So here, basically, Bruno Fernandes is telling Dalot, okay, you get this guy. I'm not going to come with you. I'm going to go and pressurize Milner. This, again, is such an underrated move. Why? If Bruno Fernandes and Dalot both ended up next to this Liverpool player right here, that means that James Milner would have the time of his life, and he would just dribble with the ball forward, just advance with the ball, and Liverpool would have much more options to actually get the ball out of their own half. But now, Diogo Dalot is with the Liverpool player, and then Bruno Fernandes is targeting James Milner, and he's going to put pressure on him, right? So here James Milner has the ball. Where can he go? Well, his only plausible option is Joel Matip, the right-sided centre-back. But of course, as you can see, Anthony Martial is over there, and Anthony Martial is saying, well, just pass the ball. I'm going to pounce, I'm going to steal it, and I'm going to score the goal, right? It's going to take 2-3 seconds for the ball to go to Joel Matip. By the time he controls it, Anthony Martial is definitely there. Of course, James Milner is an experienced player, so he doesn't make that stupid decision. He's going to make another stupid decision instead. So he comes back, and then he goes for the forward pass. But of course, Diogo Dalot is there. Decisive, strong, yet clean tackle. Checkmate. That's it. The trap is closed. Liverpool have lost the ball. Passes it to Anthony Martial, who of course has a run at Liverpool's defense. So of course, as you can see here, the way Manchester United are playing now under Erik Ten Hag is that everything is systematic. The players know exactly what's expected of them. And as you've seen with the communication from players like Lindelof, Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay, is that the Manchester United player, they have a kind of a beehive mindset in that all of them know what's expected and all of them are moving in synergy, right? Covering for each other, and both of them know what their responsibilities on the pitch are. And so for you to defend effectively like this, first of all, you need a manager who has the right ideas. Then you need the players to buy into those ideas. Then you need them to be fit enough to execute those ideas for 90 minutes. All of these factors are present in this Erik Ten Hag Manchester United team. And I can guarantee you that Jurgen Klopp, at the end of this game, he did not say what most people said. It's just a meaningless preseason game. I can guarantee you that him and his analysts have analyzed this footage, And they have concluded that Manchester United under Erik Ten Hag is not going to be Manchester United from previous seasons. This Manchester United, while I cannot guarantee that we're going to win the title, I cannot guarantee we're going to beat Liverpool and Manchester City in 1v1 games against them. But what I can guarantee is that these teams are going to be calculating, making 1,000 calculations in order for them to find out the best way to break down or to prevent Manchester United from scoring, because this is a different animal. So again, Manchester United fans, get excited, because this is good stuff. This is not about results. This is not about individual performances. The same players who were completely clueless against Liverpool last season, right now they are much more confident, much more aware, much more focused. And of course, we have a manager now who has the right ideas and who is coaching these players properly. So anyway, coming back to what Jurgen Klopp said about Ralf Rangnick, I think that he should say the same thing, and this time for sure it applies to Erik Ten Hag. This season we are definitely much more organized than we were before, and I'm sure that we are going to be having much better results than previous seasons. Anyway guys, so what do you think about this video? I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and please leave a comment in the comment section below. Share with us what do you think of Manchester United so far, and please, if you watch the Aston Villa game, please keep an eye for these kind of patterns. I'm gonna also be keeping an eye, and then I'm gonna bring you other videos where I analyze what kind of good, awesome things are happening against Aston Villa as well. Cheers.